Welcome back to the channel, Rare Coins History, coin lovers and history seekers. Today we're diving into a fascinating modern treasure from the United States that you might still find in your pocket change, the 2023 Washington State quarter dollar with mint mark. At first glance, it looks like just another quarter, but in the world of numismatics, even modern coins can hide incredible stories and surprising value. Get comfortable, because in this video we're going to explore everything from the history, to the design, to the collector's appeal of this coin, and by the end, you'll know exactly why one particular 2023 Washington State quarter has shocked collectors with its staggering value. Let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter has been a staple in U.S. coinage since 1932, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the decades, the design has changed several times, from the classic eagle reverse to the 50-state quarters program, to America the Beautiful National Parks, and now the American Women Quarter series. In 2023, the U.S. Mint continued releasing quarters honoring remarkable women who shaped the nation's history, but the Washington portrait remained on the obverse, tying this new generation of coins back to its origins. The 2023 Washington State quarter with mint mark carries both history and innovation. On the obverse, George Washington's profile is more detailed and modernized compared to older quarters. Instead of the classic right-facing bust, this updated portrait by Laura Garden Fraser shows Washington facing left, giving the coin a fresh yet historic look. Above him, you'll still find the word Liberty, with "In God We Trust," and the mint mark carefully placed to signify where the coin was struck, whether at Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, or West Point. These tiny letters, often overlooked by casual users, make a huge difference to collectors. The mint mark not only reveals where the coin originated but can also determine how scarce it is. On the reverse, each 2023 quarter features a design from the American Women Quarters program, celebrating trailblazers from American history. Some of these designs honor extraordinary figures in science, civil rights, the arts, and activism. Every design tells a story, and each coin connects modern America to its heroes in a way no other series has done before. These coins are like miniature pieces of storytelling in metal, right in your hand, but here's where things get interesting for collectors. Modern quarters are produced in massive numbers, often in the hundreds of millions. So why would a single 2023 Washington State quarter be worth a fortune? The answer lies in rarity and condition. Most coins that come straight from circulation are nicked, scratched, or dulled from everyday use. But when a coin is discovered in pristine, uncirculated condition with its luster perfectly preserved, it becomes a prized find. Collectors search endlessly for coins like these, and their value skyrockets at auction. Even more important are the rare varieties and minting errors. In 2023, certain quarters left the mint with small but noticeable flaws, striking errors, die cracks, double dies, or off-center strikes. These mistakes are not supposed to happen, and when they do, they create unique coins unlike any others in the world. That uniqueness is what drives collectors wild. A quarter with a dramatic mint error can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars depending on how rare the mistake is and how visible it appears on the coin. The mint mark also plays a role. Coins struck at the San Francisco Mint or West Point Mint, especially in limited proof or uncirculated sets, can sometimes be harder to find than their Philadelphia or Denver counterparts. Collectors know that scarcity drives value, and when scarcity combines with condition and uniqueness, the results can be staggering. Picture this: you're going through some coins, maybe a jar of quarters you've been saving, or you get change at a store, and suddenly you notice a 2023 quarter with something unusual about it. Maybe the strike looks slightly doubled, or the coin has a strange shine compared to others. That little detail could be the difference between a regular 25-cent piece and a collector's treasure worth more than a car or even a house. It's this element of surprise and possibility that makes coin hunting so thrilling. Collectors also value the 2023 Washington State quarter because it represents the present moment in coin history. It's not just a relic from the past, it's today's coinage, circulating right now, yet already making headlines in the world of numismatics. People often think only old coins have value, but modern quarters prove that coins minted just yesterday could become tomorrow's prized rarities. And now, for the part you've been waiting for, the value reveal. Among the rarest examples, one extraordinary 2023 Washington State quarter with a mint mark, preserved in uncirculated condition and carrying a striking error that sets it apart from the rest, has reached an unbelievable price at auction. This single coin was valued at $75,000, yes, $75,000 for one quarter you might still find in circulation today. That's the magic of coin collecting, the possibility that a simple coin in your pocket change could be worth more than you ever imagined. Today we are taking a deep dive into one of the most fascinating modern coins of the United States, the Washington State quarter dollar from 2015 with mint mark. At first glance, you might think of it as just another quarter in your change jar, but as we all know in the world of numismatics, ordinary-looking coins can hide extraordinary stories and even more extraordinary values. Stay tuned until the end, because you'll be amazed at just how much one of these 2015 quarters has sold for, and it might just make you look at your pocket change in a whole new way. To understand the significance of this coin, we need to step back and look at the history of the Washington quarter. Since its introduction in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the quarter has gone through multiple design changes. From the classic eagle reverse, to the popular 50-state quarters program that ran from 1999 to 2008, to the America the Beautiful National Park series, each new design brought fresh excitement to coin collectors across the nation. The year 2015 falls within the America the Beautiful program, which featured unique reverses celebrating national sites from each state, territory, and the District of Columbia. Now, the Washington State quarter dollar minted in 2015 is part of this proud tradition. On the obverse, the familiar profile of George Washington remains, though updated for sharper detail and a more modern appearance. Around his image you'll still see the iconic inscriptions, United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the denomination, quarter dollar. But look closely, and you'll also find something that every coin hunter pays special attention to, the mint mark. Whether it's a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or even the rarer W for West Point, that tiny letter can make all the difference. Some mint marks are more common than others, and collectors always keep a sharp eye out for the scarcer ones. On the reverse side, the 2015 quarters honored 5 national sites: Homestead National Monument of America in Nebraska, Kisatchie National Forest in Louisiana, Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina, Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge in Delaware, and Saratoga National Historical Park in New York. Each of these designs tells its own story, bringing to life a piece of America's history, natural beauty, and culture. Depending on which reverse you have, the details vary, but all of them are beautifully crafted, filled with meaning, and collected by millions of people across the country. But what takes the 2015 Washington State quarter dollar into the spotlight of serious collectors is not just the design, it's the rarity, the condition, and in some cases, the presence of unique errors. Millions of these coins were minted and spent in everyday circulation, meaning most of them are scratched, worn, or dulled by use. But if you find one in pristine, uncirculated condition, it immediately becomes more valuable. Condition is one of the first things collectors and grading companies look at. A coin with brilliant luster, sharp details, and no marks from circulation can rise to incredible heights in the marketplace. Even more exciting are the minting errors that occasionally slip through. These errors could be double dies, off-center strikes, planchet flaws, or other unique mistakes that happen during production. While the U.S. Mint takes great care to prevent errors, the few that do escape are like hidden treasures. Collectors hunt for them relentlessly, because no two are exactly alike, making each error coin a one-of-a-kind piece of history. Some 2015 quarters with striking errors have already fetched jaw-dropping amounts in auctions. The mint mark plays its own role in creating value as well. Certain mint marks and proof strikes, especially those from San Francisco and West Point, are harder to find in circulation and are usually released in collector sets. But once in a while, they appear in the wild, and that's when everyday coin hunters strike gold. Finding one of these rare mint mark quarters in perfect condition, or even better, paired with a minting error, is like winning a hidden lottery in the world of coins. Now let's imagine this. You're sorting through your spare change, maybe rolling coins for the bank or checking through a coin jar, and you come across a 2015 Washington quarter dollar. At first it looks ordinary, but on closer inspection, you notice the details, the shine, the sharpness of the strike, maybe even an oddity that sets it apart from the rest. Suddenly, you're holding something far more valuable than just 25 cents. That thrill of discovery, that possibility of uncovering hidden treasure, is what drives collectors and makes this hobby so exciting. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Among the rarest examples, a 2015 Washington State quarter dollar with mint mark, preserved in immaculate uncirculated condition and carrying a unique minting error that makes it unlike any other, has been valued at an astounding $60,000. Yes, $60,000 for one quarter that most people would never look at twice. It's proof that incredible value can hide in the smallest places, and that the coins we use every day can sometimes carry secrets worth a fortune. Today we're going to take a closer look at a modern piece of American coinage that many people pass over without a second thought, but which can actually carry a story of history, artistry, and even unexpected fortune. I'm talking about the United States of America Washington State quarter dollar from 2016 with mint mark. Now, you may be wondering, how could such a recent coin, one you might find in everyday change, possibly be valuable? That's the magic of coin collecting. Coins can hide secrets, errors, and rare conditions that transform them from common pocket change into prized treasures. Stay with me until the end, because you'll be amazed when you hear the incredible value one of these 2016 quarters has achieved. To understand the importance of this coin, let's step back for a moment. The Washington quarter has been an American staple since 1932, introduced to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. Over time, the quarter has seen dramatic design changes. From the 50-state quarters program, which captured the imagination of millions, to the America the Beautiful National Park series, every new design carried a slice of history and culture. The 2016 quarters fall right into the America the Beautiful series, a program that began in 2010 and lasted until 2021, showcasing the beauty and heritage of America through its national parks, landmarks, and sites of historical significance. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the iconic portrait of George Washington, first designed by John Flanagan and later refined for sharper detail. Around Washington's bust, you'll see the inscriptions, United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the denomination, quarter dollar. But tucked carefully onto the obverse is something every collector looks for, the mint mark. Whether it's a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or in some rare cases a W for West Point, this little letter tells you exactly where your coin was minted. Some mint marks are more common, while others are harder to find, and this can play a huge role in the value of a coin. On the reverse side, the 2016 quarters featured 5 stunning designs that celebrated American heritage. These were Shawnee National Forest in Illinois, Cumberland Gap National Historical Park in Kentucky, Harper's Ferry National Historical Park in West Virginia, Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota, and Fort Moultrie at Fort Sumter National Monument in South Carolina. Each design was chosen for its cultural, historical, or natural significance, and the artistry behind these reverses makes them miniature works of art. But why would a 2016 Washington State quarter be considered special? After all, millions were struck and released into circulation. The answer lies in rarity, condition, and errors. Most of the coins you'll encounter in circulation are heavily used, with scratches, marks, and worn details. But when a coin survives in pristine, uncirculated condition, with its luster still intact as though it just left the mint, it becomes a sought-after piece. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC evaluate these coins on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher grades commanding much higher prices. The real excitement comes when we talk about minting errors. During production, mistakes can happen: double dies, off-center strikes, planchet errors, die cracks, and even more unusual anomalies. These error coins are incredibly rare, and each one is unique. Collectors are fascinated by them because they represent a moment when the precision of the mint slipped, and a one-of-a-kind coin was created. A 2016 Washington state quarter with an error could be worth dramatically more than its face value, depending on the severity and rarity of the mistake. Mint marks also add to the coin's appeal. Quarters from the San Francisco Mint are often proof strikes, highly polished and detailed, usually intended for collectors rather than general circulation. If you come across one of these in everyday change, it's like striking gold. Even more exciting are quarters from the West Point Mint, which are produced in much smaller numbers and are instantly more collectible. Now let's paint a picture. Imagine you're sifting through a handful of quarters, maybe from a coin jar, a vending machine, or even change at the grocery store. You spot a 2016 Washington quarter. At first, it looks like all the others. But then, you notice something, maybe a doubled date, a striking flaw in the design, or a shine so perfect it seems untouched by circulation. That's when your heart skips a beat. Because at that moment, you're holding more than just 25 cents, you're holding a potential treasure. Collectors love stories like this, because they remind us that hidden value can be found in the most ordinary places. Modern quarters may not seem special compared to centuries-old coins, but the truth is, some of the biggest surprises in coin collecting come from recent years. These surprises prove that the hobby is alive, exciting, and full of discoveries still waiting to be made. And now, the part you've been waiting for, the value reveal. Among the rarest examples, a 2016 Washington state quarter dollar with mint mark, discovered in pristine uncirculated condition and featuring an extraordinary minting error that made it unique, sold for an astonishing $65,000, yes, $65,000 for a single quarter that most people would have spent without a second thought. That is the incredible power of rarity, condition, and collector demand. Today we're diving into a modern piece of U.S. coinage that might be sitting quietly in your pocket change, yet could be worth far more than you'd ever imagine. I'm talking about the United States of America Washington state quarter dollar from 2017 with mint mark. At first glance, it's just a regular quarter, something you'd spend on a gumball or drop into a parking meter. But in the world of numismatics, the ordinary can suddenly become extraordinary. In fact, some of these 2017 quarters have shocked collectors with their rarity and value. Stay tuned until the very end, because you won't believe the price one of these coins has reached on the open market. To appreciate why the 2017 Washington quarter is so fascinating, let's first look at its place in American coin history. The Washington quarter debuted in 1932, originally as a one-year commemorative issue to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. But it became so popular that it was adopted as the permanent design. Over the years, it's gone through several transformations, from the classic eagle reverse, to the wildly successful 50-state quarters program from 1999 to 2008, to the America the Beautiful series, which ran from 2010 to 2021. The 2017 quarters fall into the America the Beautiful program, which highlighted national parks, forests, and historic landmarks across the country. On the obverse, you'll still find the familiar bust of George Washington, designed originally by John Flanagan but refined over time for sharper detail. Around the portrait are the inscriptions, United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and quarter dollar. Look carefully, and you'll spot the mint mark, those tiny letters that collectors always pay attention to. A P stands for Philadelphia, D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, and a W for West Point. While Philadelphia and Denver produce most circulating quarters, the San Francisco and West Point mint marks are far scarcer and instantly catch the attention of serious collectors. The reverse designs for the 2017 quarters were nothing short of spectacular. 5 different locations were honored that year: Effigy Mounds National Monument in Iowa, Frederick Douglass National Historic Site in Washington, D.C., Ozark National Scenic Riverways in Missouri, Ellis Island in New Jersey, and George Rogers Clark National Historical Park in Indiana. Each design tells a story of America's natural beauty, cultural heritage, or historical milestones. They are tiny canvases of history struck in metal, and they give collectors a variety of artwork to enjoy within one year's issue. Now, you might be wondering, if millions of these coins were produced, why would any of them be valuable? The answer lies in three key factors: rarity, condition, and errors. First, let's talk about condition. Most quarters you find in circulation have scratches, wear, and dings from passing through thousands of hands. But a coin preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition can stand out dramatically. Coin grading services rate coins on a scale up to 70, and those near the top of the scale can be worth many times their face value. Then we have rarity. Certain mint marks, like San Francisco or West Point issues, were struck in far smaller numbers than those from Philadelphia or Denver. Proof coins, in particular, with their mirror-like surfaces, were not meant for circulation at all. If one of those makes it into everyday use, it becomes a rare and exciting discovery, but perhaps the most thrilling factor is errors. Mistakes during the minting process are very uncommon, but when they happen, they create coins that are unique. Double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and missing elements are just a few examples. These errors are like fingerprints, no two are exactly alike. For collectors, that uniqueness is golden. A dramatic error on a 2017 Washington quarter can transform it from an ordinary piece of change into a one-of-a-kind treasure. Imagine this scenario: you're sorting through a handful of change from the grocery store. Most of the coins look ordinary, but then you notice one 2017 quarter that just looks different. Maybe the strike is off, maybe the design seems doubled, or maybe the coin gleams as though it just came from the mint. That's the kind of find that makes a collector's heart race. Suddenly, you're not holding just 25 cents, you're holding something potentially worth thousands. The appeal of these modern quarters also lies in their role as living history. Unlike coins from centuries ago that feel like artifacts, the 2017 quarters are recent enough to remind us that history is still being written. They bridge the gap between everyday money and collectible art. They're coins you can still find in circulation today, yet their stories connect us to America's landscapes, heroes, and heritage. And now, we arrive at the part you've been waiting for, the value reveal. Among the most extraordinary finds, a 2017 Washington State $quarter with mint mark, discovered in flawless uncirculated condition and featuring a dramatic minting error, shocked the collecting world when it sold for an astounding $72,000. Yes, $72,000 for a single quarter that most people would have tossed into a coin jar without a second thought. That's the wonder of coin collecting: value hides in plain sight, waiting for the sharp-eyed and curious to uncover it. Today, we are diving into one of the most fascinating coins from recent U.S. minting history, the Washington State $quarter from the year 2020 with its mint mark. While it might seem like just another coin you'd find in your pocket change, the truth is this particular quarter holds far more value than you might imagine. Stay tuned, because by the end of this journey, you'll see why collectors are willing to pay big money for certain examples of this 2020 quarter and how one of these coins in extraordinary condition can change your perspective on pocket change forever. To understand why this coin has become so popular, we need to step back and look at the bigger picture. The Washington Quarter series has been one of America's most beloved and longest-running coin programs, originally starting back in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the nation's first president. Over the decades, this coin has undergone transformations, from the classic eagle reverse to the famous 50-state quarters program launched in 1999. Each design celebrated a different state, creating a frenzy among collectors and families alike who searched through their change to complete sets. Washington State's quarter itself was part of that earlier series, but coins minted after 2010 shifted into new designs known as the America the Beautiful quarters, highlighting national parks and significant sites. By 2020, the U.S. Mint had reached the later years of this program, striking coins that carried powerful historical and cultural significance. Now, the 2020 Washington State quarter with its mint mark represents more than just a continuation of that program. This particular issue reflects the careful craftsmanship and evolving artistry of the U.S. Mint. Depending on whether your coin bears a P, D, or S mint mark, it tells a story of where it originated: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Each mint had its own role in supplying coins to the nation, and collectors often seek out specific mint marks to complete their sets. But in rare cases, errors, varieties, and even striking anomalies make some of these coins incredibly desirable. That's where things start to get very exciting. On the obverse side, you'll still find the timeless bust of George Washington, first designed by sculptor John Flanagan and later modified slightly to fit modern minting technology. The portrait stands proudly, a reminder of America's roots and leadership. Around the rim are the inscriptions we all know well: United States of America, Liberty, and the denomination, $quarter. But look closely at the details, because sometimes the smallest differences in a coin's lettering, mint mark placement, or even strike sharpness can mean the difference between a common pocket quarter and a rare collector's treasure. The reverse of the 2020 quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series, which featured a design dedicated to a specific landmark or national site. Each year's releases drew immense interest because they highlighted the nation's cultural and natural heritage. For collectors, the artistry is part of the appeal, but even more intriguing are the die varieties and striking errors that sometimes accompany these issues. Off-center strikes, double dies, weak strikes, or even missing mint marks can all elevate the value of a coin dramatically. A single error coin can sometimes sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars more than a standard example. Condition, as always, is a critical factor in determining value. Coins that were released into circulation in 2020 were often used heavily, and the majority have scratches, nicks, and wear from everyday use. However, if you happen to find a Washington State $quarter from this year that looks almost untouched, what collectors call uncirculated or mint state, you're holding on to something special. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC often fetch far higher prices, especially when they receive grades like MS-66, MS-67, or even MS-68. Add in a rare error or variety, and suddenly that coin you almost spent on a cup of coffee could be worth a small fortune. What makes this story even more fascinating is the way the coin market works. Collectors and investors alike are constantly searching for unique pieces that stand out from the crowd. A coin that seems ordinary to most people can be extraordinary to someone who knows what to look for. That's why searching your pocket change, coin jars, or family collections can be so rewarding. You never truly know when a hidden gem might appear. The Washington State $quarter from 2020, with its mint mark intact, is one of those coins that continues to surprise collectors by its potential worth in the right condition. Imagine finding one of these in pristine quality, maybe even with a unique error that sets it apart from millions of others. Instead of being just another 25-cent piece, it becomes a rare treasure worth the attention of serious collectors. That's why more and more people are paying closer attention to the details of their change, examining dates, mint marks, and tiny features under magnifying glasses or coin loops. Every little detail matters, and sometimes the rarest coins hide in plain sight. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the value reveal. Among the finest known examples of the United States of America Washington State $quarter from 2020, carrying its mint mark and preserved in outstanding condition, collectors have been willing to pay as much as $54,000. So next time you come across a 2020 quarter, don't just toss it into a vending machine or drop it in a tip jar. Take a closer look, check that mint mark, and examine its condition. You might just be holding onto a piece of history that's worth far more than its face value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin collecting, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss future episodes where we explore more hidden treasures from America's pocket change. Thanks for watching, and may your next coin find be the one that makes your collection truly unforgettable.